Today we're going to discuss about the digital self. Nowadays, bring about by the fourth industrial revolution, there is a vast change in technology and development where people get to be involved in so many things, even when you are just in your room, simply by the click of the fingers. And this introduces a wider range of society. In a particular nation, we are called citizens, but in this particular virtual realm, we are called netizens. And this is our digital self. The digital self is the persona which we used online, or this is the persona that we try to portray when we are in our cyberspace, especially in using social media. Now, what is the importance of the digital self and how we get to develop a better digital self are the things that we're going to discuss in this topic. But first, we really have to define what digital self is. The digital self and the others in the cyberspace, it includes digital literacy, which is defined as those capabilities possessed by individuals who are living, learning, and working in digital society. In real world, authority and status may be expressed by clothing and body language. In virtual interactions, these markers are stripped. In cyberspace, people are more willing to speak out and misbehave without fear of disapproval and punishment from authority figures. Now, when we talk about digital literacy, it is defined as our capability to go digital. Uh, the living, learning, and working in a digital society. Supposedly, we make use of the digital space in order for us to grow as individuals in transactions and some other sorts of communication socially. And now, these digital natives, those who are born with this particular technology, we call them digital natives, are starting to develop a part of themselves thinking of the cyberspace as a necessity. Before naman, people who were born without this technology do not even this considered as necessity. But now all of us or most of us are considering this as necessities, such as having Facebook accounts, Twitter, in order to message your friends abroad or individuals who are far away from your place. So we get to develop this particular inclination to consider this having this particular digital identity as a necessity. Now, in the digital self, there is what we so-called as online disinhibition. When we talk about this inhibition, it pertains to the lack of restraint. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo na binibigyan yung sarili mo ng pagkakataon para i-limit yung actions mo. When we are in the physical world, we get to limit our actions, especially when we behave in front of elders, when we behave in front of different people with authority, people who might have a large contribution in our lives. But in online, in the cyberspace, through our digital self, there is no such thing as limitations. Because as we know it, people can create multiple accounts. We all are familiar with dummy accounts. We all are familiar with secondary accounts. There are official accounts and there are secondary accounts. And what do you do with your official accounts? Usually, in your official accounts, friend mo dyan yung magulang mo, yung mga kamag-anak mo, but you seldom post on that official account. But on your secondary account, ang friends mo lang dyan ay yung crushes mo, yung mga yung fandoms mo, yung idols mo, 'di ba? Your friends who you share your humor with, this particular friends who can really see the different side of you, because in your secondary accounts, there you go, the posts, the shared memes, which is of course, kung makikita ng mga magulang mo or relatives mo, mag-iiba yung tingin nila. So, in this particular instance, we are trying to create another self in a digital manner. And this is the digital self. That we get to develop a different kind of self, which is far from what we try to portray on the physical basis, on the physical realm. And this inhibition is describing our capability to not limit ourselves. And there are two kinds of disinhibitions. There is a benign disinhibition and toxic disinhibition. So how do we define the benign disinhibition? The benign disinhibition is the kind of disinhibition in the digital self wherein it creates a good ambience. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative at all. This inhibition doesn't necessarily have to be all the way negative. Benign disinhibition is a kind of disinhibition wherein you get to express yourself, diba? There are people who use their social media accounts to express themselves, to express what they feel, and in this particular manner, they get to solicit support. Sometimes for individuals, this is to not include the harm that this particular action may pose, but sometimes there are people who really listen to strangers' thoughts and strangers' advice when it comes to what they feel. Diba? Parang, since we do not know them, we do not see them, and we assume that they do not know us, it is somehow easier for us to express what we feel to those people who are not really related to us. Parang mas madali tayong mag-share, mas madali nating sabihin yung nararamdaman natin because we're afraid of judgment. You know, people always have this tendency to fear judgment. And thus, it is better for us and it is easier for us to express ourselves if there is a very limited chance na ma-judge tayo dahil dun sa mga sinasabi or nararamdaman natin. And we sometimes find it among strangers. And these strangers are really, you can find them in the cyberspace, in the digital space. Nandyan lang sila. And because napakalawak ng masasaklaw ng cyberspace, we can assume that you can reach several people. You can assume that you can reach multiple people regardless of your knowledge about them. And the good thing in disinhibiting ourselves from expressing our emotions is that we get to solicit sincere advice. We get to solicit good advices. And at the same time, we get to express ourselves. Minsan nga, kailangan lang natin ay yung mailabas yung nararamdaman natin at maintindihan na kahit pa paano may nakikinig sa atin. And the other one is the toxic disinhibition. Now, this is the kind of the disinhibition that is, I can say personally, that is mostly portrayed by most people, especially nowadays. No, we all have this tagline na anong pakialam mo, account ko to. No, my account, my rules. Now they have their own rules because they would like to have a sense of authority over their own, because in the physical world baka sila yung mga taong masyadong restricted, hindi sila masyadong nakakaramdam ng kalayaan, and now they express themselves freely in the digital world, and so their digital self is more of a free person, and now they make their own rules. So wala tayong pake, kaya nga sinasabi nila, opinion ko to, wag mong pakialaman ng opinion ko. And so these people are trying to these people are deliberately trying to say things, even those things that are not acceptable. Yung pagmumura nila, hindi siya masyado nakakapagmura sa physical world, grabe siya magmura sa cyberspace. Ano pa? yung iba't ibang mga ginagawa natin. And this inhibition also includes the way we explore the net. It is not just in social media. It is also in the net. Now, in the net, you can explore so much sites. There are very limited restrictions. Let's say pornographic sites, kahit saan. Some people are going to the deep web as well. And this access is being granted by the net. So if you do not know how to use this particular technology well, then you might get lost. And there are so many toxic individuals in the cyberspace, especially in the social media. They create debates that is outside the argument, especially in the things that are happening in our government. You see how people react to the government and how people react to the activists against the government. May fault ang government, may fault ang activist, but the way they react, 'di ba, nadadamay na yung pagkatao. Is imbes na ang dapat mo lang i-argue ay yung statement, ang nangyayari, pupuntahan mo yung account ni tao na gumawa ng statement, and dahil wala ka nang ma-rebut dun sa statement niya, ang gagawin mo na lang ay ang dami-dami mong sinasabi, ang taba-taba mo naman, ang payat-payat mo naman, para kang naka-drugs, di ba? We are really going low. And some people are trying to make poster accounts in order to imitate particular person, especially kapag ka mga sikat. Kaya nga kapag ka yung mga taong gumagawa ng accounts, 'di ba? Sinasabi nila, we have our official account and we only use this official account. So there are individuals who are trying to pose as themselves. So why are there no restrictions? Because basically your data is on the net. Your data is on the cyberspace. So several individuals can make several accounts just like your original account. So this is this inhibition. People can access someone else's identity even without your knowledge, because your pictures are there, because your information are there. So we get to, there is no limitation, there is no restriction in online, in the cyberspace. We can be whoever we want. Pwede tayong maging masayang tao sa cyberspace, sa personal hindi naman. Pwede tayong maging matapang sa personal hindi naman. Pwede tayong maging mabait sa cyberspace, sa personal hindi naman masyado. So we get to develop a more different identity in the digital space. And now we have to observe several self-presentations or strategies and impression management that are somehow portrayed by the individuals who we see in the cyberspace, trying to create a particular digital self. The first one is self-promotion. Again, these are self-presentation. The way you try to present yourselves in the cyberspace. Okay, self-promotion. These are the kind of people who would like to be known as achievers, as winners, as champions. Ito yung mga tao na gusto nila pagka nakita sila in the cyberspace, ang unang iisipin kaagad ng tao sa kanila, ay magaling to, ay mahusay to, ay winner to, ay matalino to. So what do they post? What do you see among their posts? Basically, you see, especially ngayon, graduation, no? Malaki yung, of course, being proud is different from trying to self-promote. Again, we must understand the difference with that. A person who is proud is someone who puts things, who puts these things for quite some time. Hindi araw-araw, hindi most of the time. Pero yung mga nagse-self-promote, makikita mo yan na sa lahat ng pagkakataon, makikita niya kung makikita natin kung gaano niya pinupuri yung sarili niya at gaano niya ipinagmamalaki yung sarili niya. To the point na siya na lang palagi yung nakikita. Ang laki nung nakalagay na with honors, the medals, di ba? The certificates, lahat na makikita mo, and parang people will think na, ay, mahusay ito. Kaya nga, pagka nakita mo sila sa personal, di ba? We have this tendency na kapag friend natin ng isang tao, friend natin sa Facebook lang, then you will see them personally, magkakaroon tayo ng comparison from what we see uh, on the social media accounts and what we see in person. So, we get to compare. Minsan, mapapaisip pa tayo if